Well, hello. In this tutorial, we are going to cover off a very common use case that I get. Basically, clients want to transfer data from an Excel spreadsheet to a database. Again, there are lots of use cases for this: finance departments, accounting, marketing, sales, admin. What I'm finding is they have a variety of different Excel spreadsheets, so they want to find ways to centralize this data, be able to use analytical tools. As AI expands, they basically use those tools to help improve their business decision making. There's also a bunch of other reasons. Main things we're going to cover off is obviously an XLSX file, using Python 3 to extract the data from the XLSX file, and we're going to drop that data into a MySQL database. We're going to wrap it all up by making API calls to React, using React to a Flask Python backend. Our specific use case is going to be find the best interest rate. So we're going to extract the data from the Excel file, drop it into the database, and then using the React Flask, we're going to allow internal and external clients to use that data. Basically find the best interest rate for their money, the best return on investment. So let's begin. Okay, now we're going to take a look at the resources to make this app become a reality. So we have an Excel spreadsheet here, or an XLXS spreadsheet. Companies are here, the interest rates are here, so year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5. So we're going to take this sheet here. This is our XLSX spreadsheet, and we are going to take the data and put it into a Okay, so now that we're into the MySQL, we're actually going to create a database. So obviously where we're going to save the information from the Excel spreadsheet. We'll just call this, oops, that's not what we were expecting. Create database, and we'll just call this Excel to DB tut. There we go. Hopefully I can remember that. Okay, and then we're going to just need one table. We're going to call it rate. It's going to store all of the rates. The first one is going to be the ID. It's going to be an int, not null. We're going to auto increment, going to be the primary key. Next is we're going to have the company name. Just make that a varchar. Oops. First is going to be 1 year. Just make that an int. Well, actually, no, we're going to make that a float. These are, of course, the years. Okay, 1. Okay, now that we have the database set up, it only makes sense that we have a way for Python to submit data into the database. So let's start by doing that. First, what you're going to need is a way to connect Python to MySQL. And if you go here and you kind of, look at what your operating system is, and then what your version is, and then you can download it. Anyways, I've already got it downloaded. So it's going to skip by. It really isn't the intent of this tutorial, so I'm not going to spend too much time on it. But anyways, when you download it, this is basically the file that you'll have. It allows you to connect to MySQL. So now what we want to do is start connecting to the database. And we're going to insert rates. We're going to have the company 1. So at each of these are the company name, the interest rate for year 1, interest rate year 2, and so on up to year 5. We have to connect to the database. Password, I'm going to leave mine blank. I strongly recommend you never do the same. Always have a password. Make it a more difficult one if you can. Okay. So that'll connect us to the database. So I'm going to create a cursor. It's going to be CNX cursor. I'm going to develop our SQL statement. And these little percentage sign with the S are just substitutes for the variables that you are submitting here. We're going to submit them a little more explicitly in a moment, but just so you know what the heck this is doing here. Whoops. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What do we got? 4. Oh, we need 2 more. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Okay. So we've got that taken care of. So then we're going to have our insert rate, which is going to be company. Oh, it's a little more quicker of a way. Company 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. Next we're going to do is our cursor, yep. Dot execute query insert rate cnx dot commit and cnx close. True. And just in case we have some problems, we're going to try and debug. So often things don't go the way you had anticipated, as you can already see. I got a problem here. So let's just do a quick scan, make sure we've got the code as bug-free as we possibly can to start off. And that looks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? Oh, we got one too many. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. As I was saying, the percentage sign S, these are just placeholders for, copy will go here, and 5, so 5 goes there, 4, and so on down the chain. So let's keep pushing forward. We've got that out of the way. So what's the next thing that we need to do? So we put this in the wrong spot. There we go. So now we want to actually go in and insert the rates into the database. So let's go figure that out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so now we are going to add the rates into the database. So we're going to need openpyxl, and we're going to need the load workbook component to do that. So the class we're going to here is just the same as what we've called the file itself. And in here we're actually going to take in the file itself and the sheet name. That'll make a little more sense, hopefully, in a moment. So self.wb, just in case there's any errors, we use the try block to look after that. So that'll set up the file for us. Next, we're going to get the sheet with the data on it. We'll do that by getting it from the workbook, right? So self.wb is just what we've got here. So we've got the Excel file coming in here, the load workbook. We'll create a instance of a workbook. Next, we're going to go get the sheet that contains the content, and the sheet name. That's going to be saved in sheet. So now what we've accomplished here, we've created a workbook, and we've got the sheet from the workbook. So sorry, we shouldn't say we haven't created. We've gotten an instance of the Excel file, and then we've gotten a sheet from the Excel file. So now we are going to process from sheet each row and insert rates into the rows. Now before we begin, we need to actually pull that in from dbconnect, import, what is import all? Insert, what do we call it here? Insert rates, yep, insert rates. Okay, here we're going to get the first row on down and the value from each row, and then submit them obviously into the database. So, and then we'll do value. Copy, we need to do that 6 times, 3, 4, 5, 6, I think. Oops. There we go, 6 instances. Okay, so we got the interest rates, row value. Okay, so just if you're wondering whether this is going to be the company name, this would be the interest rate at year 1, at year 2, at year 3, at year 4, and at year 5. Breaks down quite nicely for us, doesn't it? Lastly, we are just going to catch any exceptions, just so if we have any problems, I can quickly get them dealt with. That, folks, is pretty much everything that we need. So let's do a quick test and see what we get. So we get the sheet. Again, rates Excel is this right here. and it's going to be your standard sheet. Excuse me. That, I think, is going to do it. Let's find out if we have any luck. Break. Okay, now that we've entered everything into the database, just do a quick little recap on what we've done here, just for clarity's sake. So again, we have used the openpyxl. This is a library really specifically designed to use Python to extract rows and cells from Excel spreadsheets, or XLSX spreadsheets. Again, initialization method. So again, we loaded the workbook. What this does, it takes the file name, which was rates XLSX, which we got from here, entered here, and the sheet name, which is just sheet, we actually entered here. So this loaded this particular file from this file location into the workbook. Then we took the workbook, we grabbed the sheet name from the workbook. We created an instance of sheets. It's contained all the rates, the company names, everything is in here. Then what we want to do is we want to process each row. So I want to submit each row, insert it into the database. So we grabbed a row, columns, so row at column 0, column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4, column 5. So this would be each row, and then the value in each of those columns was inserted. That's pretty much it. So let's go take a look at our database and see how we did. Well, and there we go. All of our rates are in the database. So you have the company name, little offline here, but nonetheless, you have the 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, and 5 year rates. There we go. So we have accomplished our initial objective. Take an Excel spreadsheet, use Python, extract each row from the Excel spreadsheet, and insert it into MySQL database. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions, something that I went over, like for me to cover in a little more detail, or any ideas at all, love to hear from you.